Alright, y'all, welcome back to Triggered Easily Shoots. My name is Richard.
And I'm Alex.
And of course, we're your favorite pro amateur shooters. And today, we are going to be helping y'all survive the zombie apocalypse. We're going to be telling y'all what's the best weapons and pros and cons, essentially.
Yeah, we're definitely going to be making this a multi-part series if you guys enjoy it. So put down in the comments what you think we should have chose instead of what the guns we did choose. Mm-hmm. Also, some suggestions for what else you might need in the zombie apocalypse, because we got multiple videos planned about different things. It's not going to be all guns, guys, even though it's a gun channel, but you need to think about a lot of stuff.
Now, first thing I do want to say, the setup is really weird.
Yes.
We got a lot going on right now in the middle of the move and all this stuff.
We're in the transitional stage right now, so
yeah. And you might see us keep looking up because we got a TV that's super high up and a camera that's lower, so it's gonna be a little weird. Audio is gonna be horrible. We know. Bear with us. Appreciate y'all. Of course, in the gun community, the biggest thing we love to talk about is the zombie apocalypse. So the first thing I do want to say, the zombies that we're talking about, y'all, it's going to be walkers, like on The Walking Dead. So we're seeing headshot, they're dead, they walk
slow,
go in hordes, all that, blah, blah, blah. We ain't talking about them exotic ones because I ain't gonna lie, y'all, if it comes to we get a zombie apocalypse and we get them exotic ones,
the big fat guys you can't kill.
Yeah. Listen, I just
the ones in the armor.
I guarantee you, I need one bullet. I need one bullet to survive.
Yo.
Anyway, all right, let's do this. First, I want to start off with me and Alex always are going to bump heads on this, but we do want to go ahead and knock this out. The best gun, we'll say pistol, handgun first. We'll start off with that. But the best one, in our personal opinions, for the zombie apocalypse, for me, let's just say in a scenario that we get a gun with one mag. Gun with one mag.
That's so dumb.
No,
Okay,
it's not
fine.
dumb. It's not dumb. A gun with one mag. Listen, the gun you go with is a Glock, 9mm, and you go with a Glock. No, wait, go ahead. You can go ahead and bring out yours too, because yours is not a bad option. But you always go with a Glock, y'all. You always go with a Glock because you can find mags everywhere, and they're universal. Glock is like the #1 handgun that everybody has, and you can find it on a police body. Come on now.
Okay, another thing that police choose is a M&P, military and police. M&P, military and police.
You could say military and police, but 80% of officers have Glocks.
Maybe locally, but
locally
I
hope I throw a statistic on the screen.
We couldn't find it. We looked for it. Remember, we did look for it, and we couldn't find it. But
that's because
the two most popular handguns is the M&P and a Glock. Let me tell you why the M&P beats out the Glock every single time. You have a good trigger from the factory. You have an easier gun to shoot that fits your hand better, and it's just as reliable, if not more reliable than most Glocks. I have more rounds through M&Ps than any other gun, and they never jam, and I never clean them. But Richard's talking about finding mags. I have plenty of mags. But
no. That's not the scenario. The scenario is you get a gun, you get one mag with the gun. You gotta find guns. Now, don't get me wrong. Smith & Wesson, you would definitely be able to find Smith & Wesson mags. So that's why I'm not mad at that choice. I do pick Glock over Smith & Wesson just simply because more people will have Glocks naturally. More gun owners, more police officers, stuff like that. One thing I do want to say, I like Smith & Wesson better than Glock. In general, I think it's a better gun, better trigger, better all around than a Glock. But Glock is just super reliable. You can find parts, you can build this thing, you can get it dirty. It made it through tests, just like Smith & Wesson. And I just feel like it's the top thing to go with, the top dog to go with.
And you feel like that because you can find more mags.
No, it's not. It's not just because you can find more mags. It's because you can find more Glocks. Meaning, if there's something that goes wrong with this Glock, I could take this slide off with the 17. I could put the 17 on this same frame. I can modify. I can do a lot of stuff that I can do.
And I think Smith & Wesson is going to be it's going to be the second. It's going to be the second option for everybody.
Yeah,
and there's not going to be as many parts, but I don't think. I mean, everybody's laying dead in the streets. You can go and grab whatever we need. And the M&P is going to be a popular choice.
But we just
amongst all real ones like me. Let him know he's wrong in the comments. This is number one.
Listen, y'all, he real sensitive on this topic because what's funny is we're not Glock fans on this channel. So I mean, just naturally, but you gotta respect Glock. You gotta respect the Glock. People are gonna have Glocks. Glocks are super adjustable. Like if I run up on somebody with a suppressor ready, a threaded barrel.
Mm-hmm. Same thing.
I don't have a threaded barrel.
Same thing with Smith and Wesson.
Anyway, all right, listen, y'all.
All right.
We done with the handgun.
Well, no, we're not done with the handguns. I want to name like a couple other handguns that some people would choose because I don't want to leave anybody out.
Oh, okay, yeah. I forgot. There it is Pride Month.
We can't leave out our SIG guys. The P320, obviously. The problem with them is, if you drop them, you might shoot yourself, and that might be a bad thing. And
there's a 30% chance. There's 30% chance.
Only 30%. Yeah, I'd rather 0%, but that's me. I think the other big one is police are starting to carry staccatos.
Yeah, they are.
Those bougie cops over there, and I think that's a good option.
That's honestly a really good option, but I don't think there's going to
be the fifth option. I think it goes in last place.
FN is up there too, though.
Yeah, FN. So I think FN probably the least amount of cops carry them.
Mm-hmm.
I've had
some do though.
Some issues with some FNs. Again, it's not like I love them or anything, but I got a couple. They're good guns. Yeah. And I think the very last gun, this is just a bonus gun, is a 22. Because you can suppress it. And because it's silent. I don't think it's the best choice.
We're talking about handguns.
Handguns, yeah. 22 handgun. Like a Ruger Mark IV. Or what's the expensive V1? It's accurate. It'll go through a skull, no problem.
I'm not with that, y'all. I'm not with that. I'm not with the 22.
That's why it was a bonus. That was the one that was very, very last.
That ain't our bonus, y'all. That's his bonus. So, Anyway, if the zombie apocalypse happens, look for a Glock or a Smith and Wesson.
I agree.
I would say that's the one. Like, if you had to have one pistol. Like right now, y'all, before the zombie apocalypse happens, go ahead, deck you out a Smith & Wesson or deck you out a Glock.
Get plenty of mags.
You won't fail. Won't fail. Yeah,
25 mags.
Get as many mags.
And then it won't
matter. As many mags, okay?
And before anybody says anything, all these guns are unloaded, guys. We checked before, we checked during, we check after. We check every time we pick one up.
We have to have something to fiddle with, though, y'all.
Literally, they're unloaded, so if we flag anybody, there's nothing around here to worry about, so...
Yeah. Anyway, back to the actual what the video is supposed to be. Now let's go into the other guns. Okay, we got our handguns out the way. Yep. So we know we got a handgun, we got a Glock, we got a Smith & Wesson. Rifles. Let's talk about different types of rifles.
I think we really agree on this one specifically because I think we have a list, and I think Richard would agree with me on the order of the list. Number one, worst option.
You want to do worst first?
I want to do worst first. I want to switch it up here.
All right, you ready? You want me to go ahead and pick out what I think the worst option would be?
Yeah.
It's either
I got these two over here.
It's either a bolt action or a shotgun, bro.
So you're saying your sniper rifle?
Yeah. So I would say a bolt action is going to be the worst choice. But now we're telling y'all the pros and cons of each of them. Was this what you're going at?
Yeah, bolt action was the worst. Simply because, and not that I don't love a sniper, but we're going to be running a lot of ground game. These things are long. They are great at distance. So if you got a 3-story house, you get at the top of it, you can probably take out a bunch of zombies. Mm-hmm. But typically, the ammo used for these are a little bit more rare. Typically, your rifles are going to be a 6.5 Creedmoor, 8.6, 300 Blackout, 30-06, 300 Win Mag. You can get a Ruger American 5.56, and if that's what you want to do,
so
do it. Yeah, get a suppressor on that thing and run with it. There will be plenty of 5.56 NATO laying around. But I just think the limited capacity and the rarity of the ammo makes it probably the worst. Plus the size.
Yeah. Now, of course, a lot of the pros are depending on where your base is, and if you're defending it, and you need to keep zombies at a certain distance. Definitely if you put a suppressor on these bad boys, you could snipe them off, keep them at a distance. You don't even have to worry about them coming close. Or even people. People are going to be enemies during the zombie apocalypse. You don't want people to come next to you. I'm not saying go murk some people, but all I'm saying is you ready at a distance. You can see them coming. So just be prepared. I definitely think it's such a great option for that. but due to the limited capacity and also the ammo, it's going to be kind of hard to find the ammo.
Yeah.
You know, it's not going to be just in every store, every home. So yeah, that's why it's one of the least, but it's still a good option if you had one.
Now, along with that gun at the bottom equally, I would put a 22. And I know that's going to make some people mad because it is so silent and you get the full velocity out of a rifle. Ruger 1022s are plentiful. They're everywhere. 22 is everywhere. You can carry a ton of 22 on you. But my opinion is that if this is your only long gun and you have to deal with a bunch of people, it's just not going to be good enough.
Yeah.
Zombies all day.
Yeah. Now, go ahead.
But I feel like people is where this gun kind of lets you down. Again, guys, it is unloaded, but it's just not great for killing people. Of course, they had shots to the head. But if someone's wearing a helmet, good luck.
Right.
You can throw 25 rounds of 22 in there and not get through a helmet all day.
Right. Now, one thing I do want to say, the benefit of this, of course, like he said again, first of all, 22s are kind of silent, and you can suppress them.
Yes.
They make them way more silent.
Quiet.
So,
you can't hear them.
Yeah. So, most of the times when we go to the range, we don't have to wear ear protection because we have a suppressor. It makes it super silent. We got 30 round mags for these, so there's no problem with the ammo capacity, and also ammo is super cheap, so it's just you can get so much of it. And honestly, even if the apocalypse happened and we didn't have ammo, the ammo, honestly, I don't think it'll be too hard to come by. Yeah, so I just feel like there's so much of it to where even if you get one bucket of it, a bucket will have at least 1,000 rounds. And
typically, a bucket's like 4,250 rounds or something, almost 5K rounds in a bucket. So, and again, you can get those buckets in subsonic. Most 40 grain ammo is subsonic. There's a 38 and 36 you want to stay away from if you do want to be quiet. These are the top. These are the worst of the top.
Yeah,
we got a bunch of guns we're not going to mention.
One thing I do want to say, y'all. Because it's still, I think there's always going to be an argument. Is 22 enough to stop zombies?
Yes.
Alex says yes. I say
maybe not people.
Maybe I think it takes like zombies? I still think it takes like 5 bullets. You know,
get to the core of the brain.
Now we did a little test. Alex was right. We shot pineapple and it went straight through and exploded out the other side of pineapples. But sometimes I just don't know. I don't know. That's flesh. It got to get through and do the same thing. But, you know, y'all let us know in the comment below. We don't want to stay too long on this. But let us know in the comments below. Is 22 good enough to stop a zombie?
And let them know why it is.
Alrighty.
Anyway, I think the other last place in the bottom 3 or whatever. It's
shotgun.
It is shotgun.
Oh, thank you, Lord. Yeah.
No, this shotgun specifically is bad.
This shotgun specifically goes before the bolt action.
Yes.
This crap trash. I can't stand this shotgun.
Well, you know,
it's a fun one though.
It's reliable. It is fun, but it's not meant to be like a self-defense shotgun. But I like it because it's small and it's easy to keep on camera. Typically in shotguns, you get 2.5 to 3 inch rounds, and you can hold 8 in the tube and 1 in the chamber.
Yep.
So that is really limited to capacity.
Yep.
And I feel like for that reason alone, it's not great. Now, can you find shotgun ammo everywhere?
Yes, you can.
Especially around here. We got a lot of rednecks around here, and a lot of people choose shotgun as their first gun because you have to aim it, but you don't have to aim it good.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be that accurate. I can tell you that. That's one pro about this. You don't have to be that accurate, but if you're at least in the general vicinity, depending on what bullets you're shooting, of course, because like some slugs and stuff are so pinpoint. But
yeah. I feel like you load 9 rounds of buckshot into anything, and it's gone. It don't matter if it's a grizzly bear. No one's gonna stand up to that 8 shot or 9 shots of buckshot.
Right. But yeah,
double lot.
There's not really too much to say about shotguns. Shotgun is definitely good for people, people defense, zombie defense.
Close range.
I just feel zombie defense. I just feel like you'll be wasting a lot.
Yeah. If I did decide to go the shotgun, regular size Mossberg 590 or 590 tactical, the Remington is a great option. The Beretta 1301 and the Benelli M4, I feel like are at the top of that list. So if you do want to go shotgun, even though it's not high on our list, go with one of those.
All right, now we're going to the goated options.
These are the last three.
Yeah, and these are the stuff that you want to go with. So I don't even think there's a certain order with these.
I think there is.
All right, go ahead, give me your order.
So number 3.
No, then you're wrong.
No.
If it's not 762, then you're wrong. Go ahead.
Number 3 is going to be, for me, is going to be a PCC. Specifically, this is a Mac 5K, but the what's it called?
I don't know what you're talking about.
The main gun on this.
The AR-15?
No. The
MP5?
Yeah, MP5. So this is a Mac 5K, MP5K, something like this would be a good option. I think in the top 3.
A pistol caliber carbine, just in case y'all don't know what PCC is.
The other option would be like a Scorpion. Those mags are fairly findable. These mags are fairly findable. They're kind of expensive. A lot of people don't have them. And because of that reason only, it is number 3 for me. Even though they're 9mm. 9mm is going to be the most popular cartridge. Obviously, all the pistols we named were 9mm. So I feel like ammo is going to be easy to find for this. But mags are going to be harder to find for this.
Yeah.
So
I respect that.
That's why I put it where I put it, and it's not higher on the list. I think this is a good option. Again, I think the Scorpion's a good option. So either way you go with that, I think that goes number 3. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, for that reason specifically, for finding mags, I respect it as number 3. Because if we're talking about a scenario where, since it's in your arsenal or your gun collection, I know you already got a lot of mags. Mm-hmm. You know, stuff like if we're talking about the benefits of it, well, this is going to be the best because you can find 9mm everywhere.
Mm-hmm. And again, you can suppress it easily.
You can suppress it, 9mm everywhere. And also, these hold 30-round mags. You can even put drums on these. So, like, this hold a lot of capacity. If you already got your mags, you're good. If we're talking about finding mags, that's not going to be an easy job at all. But if you can, this is like a top weapon. Honestly, if you got a pistol in this, you're almost set.
Yeah, because you're gonna have plenty of 9mm. You only need 9mm if you have that setup. It's not a bad option, guys. That's what we're saying. I feel like
that's why we said that these last 3 is the goated option.
We got C tier, we got B tier, and then we got A tier. So these 2 guns we're about to talk about are B tier. The first 3 was C tier, and then we got a goated the number 1.
Yeah. So yeah, I understand this is number 3. Go ahead, number 2.
All right, number 2. The most reliable weapon, I think, period, is a 7.62x39 AK variant. Specifically, mine, the Sestava, right? It's got a bolt hold open. A lot of people like that about it, so you can just smack it down. It's gonna be loud.
Oh my gosh, you have to show me.
I had to show them, but you can absolutely abuse these things, and they'll go forever. Yeah. And I think Dracos will be just plentiful, so you'll be able to pick mags.
They are the most inaccurate weapons. No, do not. I don't know about the micro.
No.
AKs.
I'm saying you'll be able to take the mags from the Draco and use them in your reliable.
I thought you was telling them to get their Draco.
No, don't get a Draco.
Yeah,
get a full size.
You'll be able to find more mags over something like a PCC.
Yeah.
So definitely, I understand that.
And then along with this, we don't have one here in the office right now, but I would say a AR-10
with 300,
with 30,
308,
308,
yeah, 308.
Yeah,
I like those for number 2.
You can hit a zombie or a person behind a wall with a 308 fairly easily. Mm-hmm. But again, it's going to be rarer than our number 1 gun. It's going to be harder to find the mags. Just like this, even though this is probably the most reliable gun, and that's what you want in the zombie apocalypse. I think it just goes in number 2 or whatever.
Yeah, and listen, if y'all don't know what number 1 is, you living under a rock.
Yeah.
Go ahead and pull out number 1.
Number 1, easy. It's gonna be an AR-15.
Oh yeah.
Specifically, my AR-15.
Okay. This an AR-15, y'all. Deck an AR-15 out.
No. You need a BCM.
Yeah, you couldn't even spell it.
Get a BCM 14.5, have it welded at the end. Add a can to it if you want to. You got any sight you want to. Any accessory. These are the most modifiable guns. Just period. And like the Glock and the Smith & Wesson M&P, you're going to be able to find mags everywhere. That's what most of the military use.
If somebody has an AR-15, easy mags. Easy mags, they're universal. And I'm talking plastic, y'all. And you can smack them in there and they'll work reliably. So yeah, AR-15 definitely one of the top ones. Also because it's just like we said with 9mm, the number one rifle round you'll find 223 5.56.
Yep.
So,
and I feel like a lot of military is going to be taking over first, right? If they can't get a handle on it, so there's going to be tons of 5.56 everywhere.
Facts.
In the reliability aspect, it is. I don't want to say just as accurate as a bolt action, but you can make
but if you got your
close.
stuff sighted in right,
yeah,
or you train with your gun and you know how to shoot far, like you're guaranteed at about 100, 200 yards already if you can see that far. Like you kind of
with a good scope, I would say up to 700 yards is really the limit of 5.56.
Right,
and 700 yards is a long way. We live in an area where it's very wooded. So we can't see 700 yards pretty much anywhere. It's very rare, right? Maybe on a highway or interstate or something like that.
Right. Meaning you can cover about anywhere you go, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah, especially for us. So this would be number one. And I like the BCM brand. We're not sponsored or anything like that, but we need to be, please.
Yeah. After they heard you pick a Smith & Wesson over a Glock, they not sponsoring us.
I don't think they care.
They really don't. That's not their brand. But yeah. So that's a pro amateur guide to surviving the zombie apocalypse gun edition, y'all. So now y'all know the pros and cons of these guns and what guns you should get. Get you a nice pistol that you can find mags for. Thankfully, y'all don't have to be in the scenario where you only have one mag.
Right.
We just did it for this scenario, but get you a gun, get you a lot of mags,
A lot of ammo.
And I would personally say make sure you try to get stock up on your ammo specifically.
Yeah.
You know, don't get a whole bunch of guns and a little bit of ammo. I would say get a couple guns and a whole bunch of ammo.
Yeah. It would be better to have one of these 9mm and another 9mm than have to split your, if you couldn't afford 5.56, if you want to stay in that 20 cents a round, you could really stock up on a ton of 9mm and have a PCC and even a long PCC. I mean, Smith & Wesson has some really reliable long ones. But again, I would go with something reliable, something you can find mags about.
Right. Well, we hope y'all enjoyed this video. It was a lot of us just talking. None of this is biased. It's actually all 100% facts. You can look it up on Wikipedia.
Or check your AI, your local AI. They'll tell you.
Yep.
We said it, so we programmed them.
ChatGPT, ask ChatGPT also. Yep.
And then, we ain't going to get to this because it's going to be another episode, but if you had a crew, you could have multiple of these weapons. Mm-hmm. And maybe one guy runs this, maybe one guy runs that. We
haven't started our series yet, but we're going to do episode 1 after this video. So stay tuned. But we hope y'all enjoyed that video. Y'all looked at this guide, so now y'all know what weapons are going to be great for zombie apocalypse and why. We'll see y'all in the next video.
Trigger easily shoots.
Shut up.